Supreme Court of India is currently having a war of words with the political executive of our country on the issue of appointment of judges. A similar situation, if not exactly the same situation, is staring at Spain, a Western European nation with a checkered democratic history. The top constitutional court of Spain and the ruling left liberal coalition in power there are now engaged in an open war of words on the issue of appointment of judges. Yes, in both India and Spain, the raging conflict is about the way judges are appointed and about the respective governments' attempts to change that process. To that extent, the situation in India and Spain are similar. But we must bear in mind that there is a crucial difference in the way judges in India and Spain are appointed. In India, the judges are appointed by a collegium consisting of senior judges alone. 5 senior-most judges of the apex court are the members of the collegium that chooses the names of the judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court. The government of India wants to grab that power. Our top court has resolutely opposed it on both judicial as well as on the administrative side. In Spain, the executive, as a matter of fact, the entire legislature has a say in the selection of the judges of the federal and the constitutional court. But unfortunately, no new judges have been appointed in the last 4 years to replace the judges who have reached the superannuation age during this period, because there is a strong disagreement between the ruling coalition and the opposition parties on the proposed names. So the Spanish government, the left liberal government, which came to power 4 years ago, has come up with an amended set of draft legislation that gives a decisive say to the ruling party in selecting the names of the judges. The opposition parties have cried foul. They have dubbed this as unconstitutional. But despite their resistance, the new set of proposals were passed in the Congress, the lower house, earlier this month, because the ruling coalition has a majority there. This legislation was supposed to be introduced in the Senate, the upper house of the legislature, this week. This would have also been passed quite easily, as the ruling group also had a majority in the Senate. But the opposition parties moved the top court, which agreed to stay the introduction of the amended bill in the Senate in the current form. The government of Spain has denounced this decision as a brazen attack on the sovereignty of Parliament. How can a court stop the legislative process? The Prime Minister of Spain asked, even as he said that he would abide by the court's order. Yes, 3 senior-most judges who were part of the majority verdict stand to gain if the bill does not pass. because that way they can continue even after reaching the retirement age. But the majority verdict, mind you, this was a 6-5 verdict. This majority verdict has hedged its flanks. It says that the stay order is not on the content of the bill. That content of the bill will come up before the court only after it becomes a law. They say that the Spanish court has merely taken exception to the form in which the bill was introduced. Well, the left liberal ruling party in Spain has certainly played dubious tricks there. It did not introduce the new selection process of judges as a separate amendment, as that would require a special majority to pass it. It incorporated the provisions as part of another bill relating to the judiciary, so that it can be adopted without any special debate and without any special majority. It can just be passed with a simple majority. This is unethical practice. In fact, this is unconstitutional, because you are resorting to subterfuge to avoid the rigor of the constitutional provisions. But then, does that ring a bell about a similarly dubious job done by our own government? Remember the electoral bond scheme, which institutionalizes political bribery, which was introduced in stealth as part of the money bill in 2017, so that it could be furtively passed in Lok Sabha without a voting in the Rajya Sabha. The electoral bond scheme has been challenged, but our Supreme Court has sat over it in the last several years. It's only after Chief Justice Lalit came to office, constitutional courts have been constituted, and the matter has been posted for hearing in January 2023, more than 5 years after the dubious law that legitimized anonymous money driving Indian politics was passed. The Spanish court at least has taken proactive and preemptive action to nip that dubious legislative practice in the bud. We as a nation ought to take that lesson from the Spanish court.